Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 20th of March. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, okay, yesterday we had a decent FOMC. They didn't cut interest rates, which wasn't unexpected. But they did. What they did do was they cut quantitative tightening. And that means obviously they're not going to be, that's when basically they're running down the stocks of the bonds that they're holding, which is down, I think, from 9 billion at the peak to about 7 billion at the moment. And the reason they stated for doing that was they're expecting slowing demand. So they were acknowledging, but not specifically stating, that the US is, and very possibly the rest of the world, is likely to go into recession soon. The US was probably, I think, looking at the data, the US was probably going into recession anyway at the before inauguration, but tariffs undoubtedly, I think, are going to make that worse. So where are we? We went up and made a slightly higher high. Oh yes, now that's a slight concern because, of course, we've now got a pretty decent-looking double top, which could take us straight back to the lows, and we could go straight back there. I still really like the rally, but the thing is, we're getting news every day about the further plans for the tariff on April the 2nd, and I don't know. Some people are saying, "Oh well, Trump doesn't really mean it." Actually, I think he does mean it, and if he does, that's going to send the markets down. So if too much awareness is out there of that's likely to happen, then it may be the market will just anticipate that and just go down directly. But we've got some patterns here, and I've got the the YM one is the main one I'm going to be watching here, because double bottoms don't have obvious places where they fell. So going to be watching this with interest. I'd like to see it hold the weekly pivot at 56.8750. We'll see whether it can, but I think we've had pretty much a back test today, but it would be very, very nice to see these patterns play out and form some kind of a bear flag while we're doing that. We haven't done that yet, but I think we may well still. NQ, again, we've got a potential double top here, a bit oversized, but we've got an obvious point of failure. RTY, nice break up from the double bottom, and we have gone higher on this. I'm still really liking the rally setup, and it's nice. But it may be that gravity is just going to drag it down anyway. YM is the interesting one though, because now we've got an inverted head and shoulders on it, and that gives us with the right shoulder at 41,750. If we go below that, then the inverted head and shoulders fails, and that will greatly increase the chances that we're going to head back to the lows. So we haven't got a lot of space to work with on the downside today, and if we get below that, the rally is probably finished. DAX, we saw a sharp move down here. Now this is something I've been looking at because the Europeans, they've been lagging the US markets really for a couple of years, but they've been really outperforming the last few months, and this is still way higher. Now, of course, tariffs are going to affect Europe fairly badly as well. So why are the European markets up here? Well, in terms of DAX, the German economy has barely grown in the last couple of years. I have no idea why DAX is up here, but I think this might just be coming late to the party in terms of declines. So I've been watching this carefully. We saw a fairly sharp decline overnight. We're back testing the weekly pivot. I would like to see that hold because this isn't a bad looking double top. On ESTX, we've got the IHS. We haven't made the target yet, and I'd love to see this retest this high again. I'm thinking that might be a double top as and when we reach it. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. I was talking about all this on the bigger picture yesterday. We've got some obvious targets on the upside which we haven't reached. We've got this obvious level. This is an obvious level here at about 57.73, and this is broken double top support, and it's a pretty good match with both the daily middle band and the 200 DMA. This would be a strong resistance area if we reach it, but we'd need to go up another 45 handles or so, no, more like 60 handles to reach it. I'm thinking we're probably going to do that, but I wouldn't be astonished to see a fail. We've got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed here, and it's nice, and it's a significantly shorter target. I'd like to see that make target. Okay, SPX, sorry, that was ES. Sorry, no, that was SPX. So on ES, the targets, the back test here of of the broken double top support would be at about 58.50. It's I'd love to see that. That would be really good. But are we going to see it? I don't know. That's but we've got the same sort of resistance up here. We've got the daily middle band at 58.50. We've got the 200 DMA at 58.96. This wouldn't be a bad area to fail if we're going to fail. Am I thinking this is a significant low? I've seen a couple of speculations about this online. I'm thinking no. I think we're very likely to go down afterwards, unless Trump changes his mind on tariffs, which could really change the mood of the markets. But even then, I'd be leaning towards a retest and fail, because one way or another, we're probably going into recession anyway at this stage. So looking at the Qs, we've got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on the daily. It looks nice. We've got double bottom that's broken up. Nice target here in the 495 area, and didn't quite make a higher high there yesterday. And obviously, we could see all of these fail today, but I'd love to see them make target on Dia. No buy signal, but where we got targets above the daily middle band again, and a really nice looking inverted head and shoulders. Well, actually, it's not that nice, but I mean, it's this was the IHS I was hoping to form, and it's broken up, and that would have a target in the 435 area if it gets there. Is this a perfect IHS? No. The shoulders are a bit unbalanced, but it's really not bad. Not bad at all. So this is what I'm really going to be watching. If we get below this 414.88, then that is bad news for the rally. Looking at IWM buy signal here looks nice, the closest to the possible near miss target, and also the only one which is currently testing the daily middle band at the moment, apart from Nikkei, which has really run away. That's RSI 14 buy signal on the hourly's made the possible near miss target. The other ones haven't got that far really. And we've got, I'm reading this as a double bottom still, and we've almost made the first double bottom target. We do have, and I'm watching the possible IHS necklines up here. We've got a couple. Got one here at 2065, got another one here at 209.30. I'm wondering if a larger pattern might form and break up, but I'm wondering whether that would be too ambitious in terms of that then making target. On DAX, we've got, on the daily chart, we've still got an RSI 14 and an RSI 5 sell signal fixed. We've pretty much come back and retested the high. We have a potential level top. And Nikkei, we've got, this has actually spent the last 2 days above the daily middle band, which is interesting. We've got a weak RSI 14 buy signal fixed there, but that is obviously, if that holds, then that's opening the path to higher prices. Okay, right, let's have a look at DX. We've still got a very nice, though small, double bottom here, and I'm still thinking, well, make target. Break up and make target. We've got a nice looking double top on EURUSD as well. ZB, the nice looking, I drew this in last week. I drew in this trend line before it hit the trend line, and it's hit it, and this has performed perfectly and has broken up. I think that's got a target up here at a retest of 119.17. I was talking on the bigger picture last night about the bigger picture on bonds, and I am wondering whether we might see some extension higher, forming an overall triangle on TNX, but we will see. But when we get here, we'll see whether or not that's potential double top. CL, we've got a double bottom here, which is broken up. It's showing no signs of making target, and I'm wondering whether this is actually a bear flag forming, although I don't find any really decent trend lines for that. In NG, we've got, not really a double bottom here. This could just be a bear flag forming. But I am liking the upside and the open double bottom targets of 5.75 and 6.25. Don't know what impact tariffs is having on those at the moment, but it's obviously not having a huge impact on the gas price. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fix. GC, seeing a little bit of a pullback here. This 60-minute sell signal might actually make a target, although I'm not talking big numbers in terms of retracement. We don't have a double top set up here. We do have one on SI, a little one here which is broken down, but the sell signal's already made target there, and it looks as though it might be rejecting. If it doesn't, I've got rising support currently in about the 33.2 area, and I've got the targets basically around 33 for the double top. HG has continued higher. I've got a target at 5.2. that is the all-time high. Might be 5.19, but it's that area. So I'm leaning towards seeing that. I think that might be the second high of a large double top. Recessions are starting around the world, and like one is likely in the US. This is called Dr. Copper for a reason. It tends to go up or down with economic activity. So I'm thinking if we can get to 5.2, that may well be a significant high. Okay, looking at KC, I'm still wondering about ABC. Hasn't really moved in days. SB has come back up and retested this high. A bit large for a double top. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal that's fixed, but basically we're waiting in this area to see whether we're going to see a sharp retracement or a continuation higher. Could be either. CC, nice looking double bottom here, and I'm wondering about a rally, but we're not seeing much activity. There hasn't been a lot of activity on these softs, mostly over the last few days. We've got a very nice looking bear flag forming on ZW. Very nice three-touch support trend line. I'm expecting this to break down into a retest of the low in due course, and it might do that soon. We've got a less nice bull flag that's broken up on corn, leaning towards seeing a retest of this high here in the 477 area. On soy, not sure what's happening here. Wondering if a bearish triangle is forming. On CT, we've seen a bit of a retracement here. The sell signal made target, of course. This could be a double top, but it's not a great one. I think basically we just need to work out which side of the monthly pivot this is going to land, and we may see another leg up. Lumber, again, still love to see a retest this high. That would set up a nice looking little double top. Might go down directly, holding the monthly pivot so far. Live cattle has gone higher. This could be setting up for a trace. I've got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing, but it's not that impressive, and I don't really have a pattern here. So this could just continue higher. On lean hogs, still kicking around the weak to pivot. I think this is deciding whether or not it wants to retrace and come back and retest the lows. All right, great. Let's have a look at questions, of which we have none at the moment. Okay, if we're going to see this rally fail, and there are plenty of reasons why it should fail. If we're going to see this rally fail, we're probably going to see it here. And if we do, this is the main thing I'm going to be watching here on YM. I've got this 41,750 level, which is the right shoulder low. And if that fails, then I'll be thinking the rally is probably going to fail with it. We will see how that goes. But I think I would love to see this go higher and form a clear bear flag and set up the next short, because I think the next short could go down a long way. On the bigger picture, what I'm looking at here is I think we might see, hang on a second, that's not the right shot to show it. I think we might see a full retracement back to the August low, and if things are really getting going, we could actually see lower, maybe go down to 4,100 or so on. But I think there's probably a lot left in this decline. And obviously, if we can get a bear flag that would take us up into, let's say, the 5,800 area and be a nice clear bear flag, it would be a potential 700 handle short. That would look very attractive. But I'm not thinking rally here because I think the market is finding some sort of sustainable low. I really don't think it is. I think we're seeing a rally here and then it will continue down. And we will see where it lands after that. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. And everyone take care.